There's a real mystery with salmon. They seemingly come from nowhere. They come from the ocean and then they just appear here and then they're gone.
The Shuswap Sockeye Salmon have returned in great numbers this year, completing their epic journey from the ocean back to the Adams River in Tsútswecw Provincial Park, returning home to where their story first began.
We're still collecting the data right now, so a couple more weeks and we'll have a better idea. But it's a lot more than the parent generation, which is always positive. These fish, their parents would have spawned in 2021. And it looks like there's significantly more this year in 2025.
Because the Shuswap Sockeye Salmon are strongly cyclical, every 4 years becomes a dominant year, bringing much higher numbers, sometimes in the millions, compared to tens of thousands in a regular year. Be sure to watch the 2026 Salmon Run, which will be a dominant year for the Shuswap Sockeye. But because their migration is so complex, with many factors at play, it is difficult to predict how many will return.
In 2010, we had a huge return of sockeye salmon here on the dominant cycle, and there were over millions. So the total, I think, for this area, Shuswap, all the rivers combined, was close to 10 million. Unfortunately, every dominant cycle has been getting lower since then. But what's wonderful about salmon is they're extremely resilient. They are really adaptable, but sometimes it takes time, and it's really difficult to determine what is driving the change.
The sockeye salmon here have an incredible life journey. Born in the Adams River, they swim to Shuswap Lake, where they spend roughly a year growing before continuing on to the ocean. There, they travel thousands of kilometers across vast waters until the time comes to return home on one final, perilous upstream journey to spawn and complete their life cycle where it began.
You see these fish here, lots of them are dying, and they will all eventually die. That is one of the most beautiful ways of our nature bringing all those nutrients from the ocean back to the interior of BC. So every fish is full of nitrogen that's going to feed all of the trees. So if a fish is taken by an animal and brought into the forest, that feeds the trees. If the eggs are eaten by other trout, that's feeding the trout. The birds, every other living organism is totally dependent on the sockeye returning and dying. It's this short-lived thing that is bringing everybody together, all parts of the ecosystem, including humans, to feed our bodies a lot of the times and our souls and our minds, right?
For more information on the 2026 Dominant Year Salmon Run and the Salute to the Sockeye event, visit salmonsociety.com or bcparks.ca Tsútswecw Parks page. In the Shuswap, Lydia Frederick, Rogers TV.